In the heart of the North American wilderness, where the snow blankets the ground in an eternal hush and the trees stand as silent sentinels, there lurks a creature of legend, a being that embodies the very essence of hunger and despair, the Wendigo. This terrifying figure has haunted the folklore of the Algonquin tribes for centuries, and its story is as chilling as the winter nights it prowls. Imagine, if you will, a time long before the world was suffocated by the glow of screens and the hum of civilization. The air is thick with the scent of pine, and the biting cold seeps into your bones. You're deep in the woods, far from the warmth of a fire, surrounded by the eerie stillness that only the most remote places can provide. But in that silence, there's an unsettling feeling, a whisper of something lurking just beyond the trees. That's where the Wendigo comes in, a creature born from the desperation of those who are lost, both physically and spiritually. The tales tell of a human who, faced with the gnawing pangs of starvation during the harsh winters, succumbed to the most primal of instincts. In their darkest hour, they turned to cannibalism, consuming the flesh of their fallen companions. But this act of desperation came at a terrible cost. The Wendigo is said to be the embodiment of that insatiable hunger. Once a man, now transformed into a gaunt, emaciated figure, with skin stretched tight over its skeletal frame, its eyes glowing with an otherworldly hunger. It is a creature that craves flesh, but not just any flesh, human flesh. The Wendigo is never satisfied, always hungry, always searching for its next victim. What makes the Wendigo particularly terrifying is not just its grotesque appearance, but the very nature of its existence. It's a symbol of greed and excess, a cautionary tale warning against the dangers of insatiable desire. In many ways, it's a reflection of our own struggles with consumption, both literal and metaphorical. The Wendigo is a reminder of what happens when we let our appetites consume us, when we become so desperate for more that we lose our humanity. The lore surrounding the Wendigo varies from tribe to tribe. Common threads weave through the narratives. Some say that the Wendigo can possess a person, turning them into a creature of insatiable hunger. Others believe that the Wendigo is a spirit that can infect the hearts of those who are greedy or selfish, leading them down a path of destruction. In this way, the Wendigo serves as a metaphor for the darker aspects of human nature, a reminder that we all have the potential for greed and destruction lurking within us. As the story spread, the Wendigo became more than just a cautionary tale. It seeped into the collective consciousness, transforming into a figure that transcended its origins. In the 19th and 20th centuries, as settlers encroached upon indigenous lands, reports of Wendigo sightings began to emerge. These accounts often described encounters with a tall, gaunt figure, its breath visible in the frigid air, its eyes filled with a ravenous hunger. People began to fear not just the creature itself, but the very idea of it. The Wendigo became a symbol of the unknown, an embodiment of the fears that lurked in the shadows of the forest. But the Wendigo is not just a relic of the past. It continues to haunt our modern imagination, appearing in literature, film, and popular culture. From horror novels to movies, the Wendigo has become a versatile figure, adapting to the fears of each generation. It serves as a reminder that the darkness of our desires still exists, lurking just beneath the surface. In a world driven by consumption, where the hunger for more often leads to destruction, the Wendigo stands as a chilling representation of what we might become if we let our appetites spiral out of control. Consider the implications of this legend in our daily lives. We live in an age where the pursuit of wealth, power, and status often takes precedence over compassion and community. The Wendigo warns us of the consequences of this insatiable desire. It's easy to dismiss these tales as mere folklore, but when we look around, we can see the echoes of the Wendigo in the world today. Whether it's the relentless pursuit of material possessions, the exploitation of resources, or the disregard for others in our quest for success. The spirit of the Wendigo is alive and well. The Wendigo's insatiable hunger serves as a metaphor for our own unchecked desires. It reminds us that when we prioritize our wants over the needs of others, we risk losing ourselves in the process. The stories of the Wendigo are not just tales of horror. They are cautionary narratives that urge us to reflect on our choices and the impact they have on the world around us. In this age of instant gratification, the Wendigo's lesson is more relevant than ever. We must ask ourselves, what are we willing to sacrifice to satisfy our cravings? Are we willing to consume everything in our path, leaving destruction in our wake? Or can we learn to temper our desires, to find balance between our needs and the needs of others? The Wendigo challenges us to confront the darker aspects of our nature and to seek a path of mindfulness and compassion. As we delve deeper into the lore of the Wendigo, we uncover stories of those who have encountered this creature and lived to tell the tale, or those who have not. There are accounts of hunters who ventured into the woods, only to return with tales of a figure stalking them from the shadows, a presence that filled them with an overwhelming sense of dread. Others speak of the chilling whispers that echoed through the trees, calling them deeper into the forest, leading them to the brink of madness. These stories serve as a stark reminder of the thin veil that separates our world from the unknown, the fragile boundary between sanity and the abyss. In some tales, the Wendigo is said to be able to mimic human voices, luring unsuspecting victims into its grasp. Imagine wandering through the woods, hearing the voice of a loved one calling out to you, only to realize too late that it's a trap. This ability to deceive is a reflection of the way our own desires can lead us astray, blinding us to the dangers that lurk in the shadows. It's a reminder to be vigilant, to question our motivations, and to be wary of the seductive pull of our own appetites. The Wendigo also embodies the fear of isolation. In the vastness of the wilderness, where the cold can seep into your bones and the darkness can swallow you whole, the idea of being hunted by a creature that feeds on despair is a chilling thought. It speaks to our primal fear of being alone, of being cut off from the warmth of human connection. In many ways, the Wendigo is a manifestation of our own loneliness, a reminder that when we allow ourselves to become consumed by our desires, we risk losing the very connections that make us human. As we explore the various interpretations of the Wendigo, we must also consider its role in contemporary society. The legend has evolved, adapting to the fears and anxieties of each generation. In a world grappling with issues of climate change, social inequality, and the consequences of unchecked consumption, the Wendigo serves as a potent symbol of the dangers of excess. It's a reminder that our actions have consequences, that the hunger for more can lead to destruction, both for ourselves and for the world around us. The Wendigo's insatiable appetite can be seen in the relentless exploitation of natural resources, the depletion of forests, and the destruction of ecosystems. It's a metaphor for the greed that drives industries to prioritize profit over sustainability, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. The stories of the Wendigo urge us to confront these realities, to recognize the impact of our choices, and to seek a more harmonious relationship with the world we inhabit. In literature and film, the Wendigo has taken on new forms, reflecting the fears of modern society. From psychological thrillers to supernatural horror, the creature continues to captivate our imagination. It serves as a canvas upon which we project our anxieties, our struggles with consumption, and our fears of the unknown. In this way, the Wendigo transcends its origins, becoming a symbol of the darker aspects of human nature that we must confront. As we navigate the complexities of our own lives, it's essential to remember the lessons of the Wendigo. It challenges us to reflect on our desires, to consider the impact of our actions, and to seek a path of balance and compassion. The Wendigo is not just a monster lurking in the shadows. It's a reflection of our own struggles with greed, isolation, and the insatiable hunger that can consume us if we let it. So, the next time you find yourself in the depths of the forest, or even in the quiet moments of your own home, take a moment to reflect on the Wendigo. Consider what it represents, not just in folklore, but in your own life. Are you allowing your desires to dictate your actions? Are you becoming consumed by the hunger for more? The Wendigo serves as a chilling reminder that we must confront the darkness within us, lest we become the very monsters we fear. As the sun sets and the shadows lengthen, remember that the Wendigo is always watching, waiting for those who stray too far into the depths of their own desires. It's a haunting tale that echoes through the ages, a warning that resonates in our modern world. When we embrace the lessons of the Wendigo, we can find the strength to resist the allure of insatiable hunger, to seek connection over consumption, and to navigate the wilderness of our desires with wisdom and compassion.